Okay, hey, guess what? We're back here at the bench, and this is well, it's a Bosch, and it's a Benzine, and yes, it has the Mercedes sticker on there, and this is an emo box from, okay, wait for it. Do you see how it says FBS2B? Daimler Chrysler. This is all out of a 2004 Crossfire. So, customer said that, oh, his battery went dead, and he jumped it, and the car started up. And the next day, he went and jumped it, and it wouldn't start. Well, these are 20-year-old German cars. The Crossfire, the SLK, even the SLs. If you can't afford to put a decent battery in them, you are going to be in all kinds of trouble. So I just wanted to show you. So this right here, see how this says 93C56 Crossfire Skreem original? See that? That's all F's. See this? This is the new one. See how it has data in it? It's supposed to have data in there. In fact, it's supposed to have the VIN number. And it just kind of makes you go, really? I mean, the only chip. So just so you know, this is a 95P08, I think it is. This chip has the emo data in this ECU. On this one, the big chip, the MC68 HC05, whatever. And this guy, which is the 93C56, I'm not really sure how, but they deleted the data from both of them. Now, usually that happens when you have a really bad battery, or you hook up the battery booster backwards and then turn the key on. So just so you know, keep your battery up, and if you don't have a good battery, don't turn the key on. Because I'll show you what happens. I mean, this was the only one. See how it says the 95P08? This is the original. And if we go look at the new one, this is the new one, the new 5P08. And you're probably, asking yourself, well, hey, Tim, how in the heck did you get that stuff? Well, I'm going to show you. But see this? See how this says HC05 Crossfire Skreem? Do you see how blank that is? I know, I read it 3 times before I finally went, oh my God, it's blank. I have seen a lot of these that are screwed up, but this is like the first one where both of the chips are just totally blank. So, luckily, I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. And those guys, yeah, I know, I need to update. The only problem is, I hate updating. So, lacartech.com. And just so you know, MB Engineering, great people. They're the ones who do all this stuff. But, and I'm not going to log in, but I am going to look. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to type in Skreem, because it's a Skreem. So now they've got the click and go adapter sets. And they also can fix the start error. And they get $500. $500 And then, I mean, you can see it's all $500. So, and usually it starts at $500. You know, it's like, this is the A class. So just so you know, if you're dumb enough to let your battery go so dead and then slap on some kind of wonderful charger that screws everything up, or if you try and crank it over when that battery is really low, it is going to do this. So just so you know, this $500 just to fix the data. That doesn't include pulling modules, unsoldering, and that's a big chip. It doesn't exactly come off easy. So just so you know, if you're going to be cheap and not have a good battery in there, or a battery tender if you don't drive it that much, you're gonna have a heck of a lot larger bill for a fix like this. You can't get these parts anymore. You can't buy them new. And if you call Mercedes will go, no, that's a Chrysler. We can't order parts for that. The SLK, I think you can still get this box, and I think they're about $800 new from the dealer. And then you have to program it in, so you got to pull it to the dealer. So this is just a warning. And I know hopefully most of you are locksmiths who are watching this, and you're looking at this going, oh, I know a couple of those. Well, if you need to fix them, get a hold of LA Car Tech, either Paul or Boris or Dimitri, and you can see it's going to be that chip, and also that chip in the ECU. And what you do is you read them and then send them the data files, and then they will fix them, and then they will send them back to you, and then you write them and then solder them back on. And then, but just so you know, this one being so blank, I mean, you can't get these keys anymore. And basically, we can't fix the remote. We can go ahead and we can virginize the chip in there, but you'll never get the remote to work. You only can do that using a KR55 key, which is black, not gray. So I just wanted to kind of give a heads up and say, if you know somebody who owns a wonderful, Crossfire, and this one, of course, had the big stereo, the big power wire hooked up to the battery. So of course, it's like, oh, I gotta have the stereo, but I don't really care about whether or not it starts. I mean, this person, I'm doing this for a shop, and by the time the shop gets done, I'm sure there's going to be a $1,200 or $1,500 bill towards this customer. So hey, you know what, if you're running into the same situation, just remember, LA Car Tech, they're about the only ones I know who are out there actually fixing the data. So hey, good luck, and see you on the next one. Okay, so we have our 2 extra Crossfire keys, and what we did is we went to the KR55, we went to the 7935, and we clicked on unlock. Now, after we have unlocked them, we can now go back to remote PCF, and then we went ahead and we programmed these into the new bin file that MBE sent us. So now we've got 3 keys that should start the car. We've already started it with 1, but now we're going to go try these other 2 and make sure they work.